Hi, my name is Mark Ashbrook. I'm a principal lecturer at Arizona State University, and I've been there for 20 years, teaching a wide variety of courses and focusing on revised conceptual calculus in the last 10 years. It's my great honor and privilege today to introduce Dr. Marvin Bittinger, who is a professor emeritus at Indiana U, Purdue U, and Indianapolis. He did his studies at Manchester College, Ohio State University, and got his PhD in math education at Purdue University. And there started one of his passions in his career of writing textbooks. He's written approximately 200 math textbooks in his career. But his greatest achievement in writing in his eyes was his book, The Faith Equation, in which he made a defense of the Christian faith by looking at various topics in mathematics. And it's this investigation of Christianity and mathematics and how they blend together in seeking out truth that we look forward to hearing from him today.
We live in a time in a society where technology or science seems more important than our thoughts about God. We have so many things to distract us: the internet, the cell phones, the streaming of movies, our cars, trips, whatever, and we forget about God. Well, I think science and faith are meshed together, and I'd like to give you some examples of how that plays out in my life. I'm a mathematician. I write mathematics textbooks for a living, and along the way, I had a heart attack, and it was at that time that while I was a Christian, I wasn't passionate about my faith, and that started a study of the Bible and other Christian literature. And I was just seeking to have more knowledge. Now, you have to realize when we write books in today's age, we look for applications. Students want to know why they're studying the math. And by golly, I started finding sevens in the Bible. And I remember saying to God, "Are you giving me mathematics? I'm just trying to learn more about the Bible." That started a trail of finding all kinds of mathematical evidence for Christianity. Now, when somebody talks to me about the Bible and wants to know why I think it's relevant and true and worth studying, I see the primary reason is the prophecy. Now, you take a dome stadium and fill it full of white sand and put 1 grain of red sand in there and blindfold a man and ask him to go in there and move around and pick up 1 grain of sand. What's the probability it's red? Well, you can see that that's really small. Do it 4 times, and that's the probability of just 9 prophecies coming true. So that, to me, gives outstanding evidence. Now, we went further in our studies, and we looked at the power of prayer. All through my life, I've questioned whether prayer really worked. And one day I was traveling to my workout, and I heard a sermon on the radio talking about 2 medical studies that were done on the power of prayer. Now, 2 groups were separated into a prayer group and a control group. People in the prayer group were assigned to Christians to pray for them. These people were all going into the hospital for coronary care. And by golly, the prayer group did better than the control group. Now, this was wonderful evidence to me that the math, which is a basis for doing these studies, had shown that prayer is true. Now I'm not afraid to say to somebody, "I'll pray for you," or ask them to pray for me.
Hi, my name is Mark Ashbrook. I'm a principal lecturer at Arizona State University. I've been there for 20 years. Taught a wide variety of math courses and most recently focused on making calculus conceptual and meaningful and relevant for students. It's my great honor and privilege today to introduce to you Dr. Francis Edward Sue, professor of mathematics at Harvey Mudd College. He got his BS in math from University of Texas at Austin and got his PhD from Harvard University. And he has served as the president of the Mathematical Association of America, and since then received 2 MAA awards, one for writing and one for distinguished teaching. One of his great interests has been to make mathematics popular and interesting for a wide audience, and so he authors the popular Math Fun Facts website and is the creator of the Math Feed math news app. His book, published about 1 year ago, Mathematics for Human Flourishing, is an inclusive vision of what math is, who it's for, and why everyone should learn it. And so we look forward to hearing all about that from him today.
My journey to faith happened through struggle, a wrestling to understand and make meaning of things that seemed meaningless. I didn't grow up in a religious home. I was good at math and I excelled at it, and my chief aim was one, I suppose, of competition, to be better than everyone else at it. And I mostly thought of achievement as the path to a fulfilling life. But all that changed right before college when both my parents got sick. My mother had Lou Gehrig's disease, my father had cancer. And so at a time when all my peers were getting excited about college and future possibilities, I was deeply depressed and wrestling with existential questions. Why was I trying so hard to achieve things if all that happens is we live and die and that's it? Is there meaning to any of this? And if life had no meaning, why is it that we spend our whole lives trying to be better than we are? That was a paradox that made no sense to me. We spend most of our lives searching for meaning and significance, to justify ourselves morally and professionally, to try to be good and fail, to perform but never feel like we measure up. It was in this wrestling and despair that I met Christians in college who seemed to be living life with a different motivation, and that was intriguing to me. Now, as a research mathematician, I have learned to wrestle with hard problems that do not bend or break open easily. I've learned to be patient in waiting, to have courage in the struggle, to understand. And occasionally an insight will break through on this problem or that problem, and I will see an elegant solution that is so amazing and beautiful, I think the solution could not have been any other way. I wish I could describe that feeling more fully, but these brief glimpses of truth are evidence to me that I am not mistaken in my belief in things more profound, in a transcendent reality that shows itself to those who wait patiently. And so the breakthrough that I had in my journey of faith in my freshman year of college was to see that my desire for significance and meaning didn't have to come from me or how I perform. The good news is that it comes from someone of ultimate significance, God. I used to think religion is all about trying to be perfect, so it was amazing to realize that I didn't have to perform at all to earn God's favor. And this was the elegant solution to the paradox I was wrestling with that set me on a path to learning more about Jesus. I think that the pursuit of math and the pursuit of faith have many parallels. Wrestling with fundamental questions, the courage it takes to struggle with hard problems, and the feeling of transcendent mystery that one encounters in each. It's like there are whispers calling to us, and we have not yet found their source, but the journey to seek it out is really worth it.
Good morning. My name is Beth Fletcher, and I'm an attorney that specializes in data privacy and cybersecurity. And I have the privilege of introducing Lydia Manikonda. She is an expert in artificial intelligence, and her passion is twofold. One, she seeks to leverage artificial intelligence to solve the problems that plague public health, such as addiction and mental health. And two, she seeks to use artificial intelligence to give voice to the voiceless, but in a way that honors three foundational principles: transparency, accountability, and fairness. No easy feat with the lack of ethics that's been around artificial intelligence. Her personal journey of being raised in India in a conservative family to overcoming obstacles to pursue her dream of artificial intelligence at Arizona State University will be of interest to you as you hear from her.
I'm originally from India, and I grew up in a Christian home where both my parents are strong believers, and at the same time, they are also friends of science. My mom being a nutritionist and dad practicing law. I think I have an added advantage there that they encouraged me strongly to pursue my goals and dreams, especially to come to the United States to pursue my graduate studies. Being a woman of color and coming from a traditionally conservative culture, and I'm truly grateful for that. And growing up, I saw the unconditional love and that calm and quiet spirit, even in the midst of calamity, and especially the love, it just drew me to my current faith. And growing up, I never understood, why somebody loves unconditionally, regardless of the circumstances. But I think going through different life situations and going through different both ups and downs, and especially pursuing PhDs, I think everybody agrees with me on that. It was hard, but it was actually a very good eye-opener for me to strongly get my strength and get back up because of my faith. And with that, I can say that my faith gives me so much strength, and also it helps me to be intentional in, especially during teaching, and being intentionally engaged with my students and care for my students. Especially during the last few months when COVID hit the world, so everything shifted to hybrid teaching, and I think this has been a very difficult time for many of us, but I'm truly grateful for even the challenges too, because I think that's what encouraged me in my faith too. So even my research, the kinds of projects that I am very interested in, I'm very grateful for my faith, I guess, because I get a lot of motivation, because, God asked us to love one another and care for one another, and how are we using science to help one another? And and I hope that I'll continue to work harder, and I hope that I'll become stronger in my faith as well. Thank you so much.